crocheting myself another scrappy little project for the summertime. I again have accumulated quite a lot of like scrap and leftover yarn from a bunch of different projects over the course of the years, and I want to basically utilize as much of it as I can into one singular project. So the last time I did this, it was with a bunch of like cotton Aran yarn. This time is with a bunch of like quite fine cotton yarn. It's mostly Drops Saffron yarn or Drops Heart You, and I have, like I said, accumulated it over the course of a few years from a bunch of different projects where I've just had some left over. I've got amounts as small as this, I've got loads of like scrappy bits like this, but then I have some which are like full skeins as well. So let me show you all of the colours that I'm going to be working with. So we have this really nice berry pink colour, we have this kind of like dark blue teal shade, this sage green, also don't look at my nails, all of my nails are popped off, this really nice pumpkin orange, I have this really beautiful lilac colour. This colour in particular I have used for about 4 different projects. I've used it for 2 dresses and 2 tops, and I don't know how I still have some of it left. I love it, but it's like the black hole of yarn. I have not been able to finish it, so hopefully this will be the project. I have some random scrappy bits in these little bags, this kind of like goldy green colour, and then there's like mustardy neutral colour. There's this really nice chocolatey brown, this dark aubergine purple, and finally this tiny bag of like a kind of similar sort of shade, but it's more of a berry colour, this dark kind of berry purple shade. And so yeah, that's all of the colours that I'm going to be working with. At this stage I don't know exactly what I want to crochet, but I kind of want to crochet like, you know, the Persian tiles blanket, which you probably will have seen all over like social media. I basically want to crochet like a top version of that, something with like a really nice intricate design but is like somewhat full. But I want to crochet like a strappy top basically. I don't want it to be a t-shirt, I don't want it to be like a regular length top. It's going to be a nice cropped strappy top that I can wear in the summertime. I definitely think I will have more than enough yarn to create a like a cropped strappy top, so I will have leftover yarn. What I will do with that, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this project. I'm gonna like do a little bit of research onto whether those kind of patterns already exist, and whether I like any of them. Maybe if there's some tutorials of like other things that are online that I can maybe incorporate or turn into a top of some kind. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because it's been quite a while since I've done something with like this amount of like intricacy. Something that's like almost similar to crochet lace, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this project. I'm looking forward to using as much of this kind of like scrap and leftover yarn as possible and creating like a really nice fun colour palette. Also, hello, if you don't know me, my name is Rajan, or Not Half Bad Crochet. I am a part-time pattern designer and content creator. If you want to check out any of my pattern designs, you can find them all linked in the description, and I do have a couple of free tutorials on my channel. You can find them all in the tutorials and tips playlist. If you enjoy crochet content like project vlogs and cozy crochet days, maybe some behind the scenes of a crochet designer, then please do stick around and subscribe to my channel. Obviously give this video a little like if you enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this project. I love creating like a fun colour palette from a bunch of like leftover and scrap yarn, and I think this is going to turn out really cute. Okay, so a little update. I basically followed this tutorial. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I will link it in the description. It's just like a really beautiful like mandala flower. The yarn and everything that they use in the tutorial is like different to what I've been using. Obviously mine is like a very fine yarn, and in the tutorial I think they're using like a DK weight cotton or something like that. So yeah, I basically just started because I wasn't really sure like what I wanted or what I wanted to do or what kind of top I wanted to make. I just knew that I wanted something kind of like this, where it was just this like really beautiful, super detailed mandala flower sort of pattern, and then I could turn it into a top basically. And where I have so many colors, I think it's worked out really nicely. Here's a little close-up. I think this is absolutely beautiful. There's obviously many rounds. I think it's like between 20 and 23 rounds, and then you kind of attach it to the back of the square, so it's not like you have a lot of bulk with like a square covering this kind of center part, you build the square out and then build it out a bit further, and then you attach the final row of the mandala to the actual square, which I think is really clever. It's a really easy tutorial as well. I will link it in the description in case you want to make your own. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I love all of the colors together as well, and I feel like even just like at a distance, it's just like a really vibrant and like detailed piece. So what I'm thinking is basically doing a like tank top, a strap top with just like these kind of like asymmetrical squares over it, if that makes sense, like almost like a patchwork design but not patchwork. I'll put up a couple of pictures of like what I mean that I'm kind of using as inspo, but I kind of was like, I'm just gonna make it and then we're gonna go from there basically. So I made this one and then I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to make with it just yet, and then I started making another one. But as I was kind of making this one, you can kind of stop at like many different points, but I was like, let me just make one with like all of the rounds that this person kind of offers, just so I can see it in its entirety with like the attachment to the back of the square. So you can kind of stop like at this round, you could stop at this round, or like this pink one, or obviously go like the whole way. So I decided to stop at this round, which on this one is the brown round here. Obviously did a different color combination, so I decided to stop on that round and then attach it to a square in a similar way. In the tutorial they don't show you how to do this, so I did have to figure it out, and I'm actually really impressed with myself for being able to figure it out. I think like the fact that they kind of showed you how they did it on this one, I was like, oh okay, cool, I can just like basically I've got a hair on me, I can basically just like wing it and do that but in my own way sort of thing. So it's like kind of similar. You can see the way it's joined on the back. I basically did a similar thing and then just kind of like squared it out. But yeah, I really love how this looks as well. I feel like the colors look really nice together, and yeah, I think it's just like really beautiful and intricate and detailed. Yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe basically doing like some just kind of like random patches and then just kind of like connecting them all, having some that have the florals but having some that are just like, you know, just a square or just like a couple of rows of, I don't know, single crochet or half double crochet or something, just to kind of build it up, and then doing like a almost like a tank top, a strap top. I haven't quite decided, but probably not like thin straps like this. But yeah, that's kind of my idea. That's my update. It's going well. I'm just kind of winging it so far. I think I want to start again. I don't know if I want this in a top anymore. Like I was kind of thinking about it, and like it's just very thick. Like you can kind of see how thick the actual mandala is. Like there's a lot of front post stitches, there's a lot of layers to it, and then obviously you kind of have the thickness of the actual mandala against the square. So like the whole thing is quite thick, not only due to the stitches but also like the construction of it. And so I was like making the other one that I did, and I was like thinking about how to put them together, and I was like, I just don't know. Like don't get me wrong, I think it would look cute, but I'm like, I obviously want this to be like a fun summery top, and if it's hot or even slightly warm, I'm like, will I reach for this? Because I know that it's thick and I know it's like kind of heavy, and I just don't think I will reach for it due to the kind of like thickness of the fabric. Because for me, when it's hot, I just want to be as like scantily clad as humanly possible, and I want light, drapey, airy fabrics, stuff with like lace and things that are a little bit more lightweight. So yeah, I don't think I want to continue with this design. I think like the idea was there, you know, in theory, but I think I'm gonna pivot. I think when I started it as well, like I just wanted to crochet something where I didn't have to concentrate and I didn't have to figure it out myself. It's like I wanted to obviously use all of the colors, but I also wanted somebody to tell me what to do, you know? Like I was like, I'm in the mood where I don't want to have to think about my own construction, my own color palettes, blah blah blah. I just want to like put shit together, and like that was great, that worked, and I think this is beautiful still. I just don't know if it's gonna like work for a garment. I think like maybe like a pillowcase or putting it together in a blanket I think could be beautiful, but for what I want this top to be, I don't think it's gonna work. We are going to pivot, and I was kind of looking at like my other summer top ideas, and I have two options, but I think I'm gonna go with this one, where I have wanted like a baby doll top for ages, where I basically have like some coverage around the bust, a nice like frilly, loose, airy kind of like situation for the rest of the top, and then it has straps. That's kind of what I want, and I think I could create a really fun like lace design for the bottom part of the top, like the kind of flowy bit where you would typically have lace or some chiffon or something like that in an actual baby doll. I also think baby doll tops look good on me. I think they are very hot and sexy and cute, and I think because I want to go for like a lacy bottom area, it will be nice and like loose and lightweight for me to wear in the summertime. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think I will still use as many of the colors that I have here as possible, but I think I'll probably do the lace pattern all in one color and then do the kind of like bust part in as many colors as I can kind of get away with. I think I'm going to try and focus on the colors where I have as like less yarn, so that I can hopefully like use them up in this project, and then whatever the lacy part is will be like a color that I've got like a decent amount of, so I don't have to worry about like plain yarn chicken or anything. So that's my thought process. I think it's a lot better. That's my plan, that's my POA. We're gonna start afresh basically. Hello friends, I feel like it's been ages since I've done an update. If you can hear the AC on in the background, please ignore it. It's very, very hot today. Yeah, it's been super hot these past like few weeks, so I haven't been crocheting as much as I usually would. Plus, it took me ages to find a lacy stitch pattern that I liked. So let me actually give you guys an update. So I finished the kind of like bust area. It's looking a little bit crazy because of all the ends, but yeah, I finished the bust area, which is obviously going to wrap around my bust, and then now I'm working on the lace pattern, and it just took me so long to find a lace pattern that I liked, partly because like I just wasn't in the mood to concentrate. Like, you know, you have to really think quite a lot when it comes to crocheting. You have to really concentrate, you have to count like all of your stitches and blah blah blah. I just like wasn't in the mood to do that, so it took me a little while to kind of like become in the mood to do it. And then I tried doing it on one day and I was just like, I am not concentrating, and I was like getting the stitch pattern wrong when I was like doing my practice swatches, and I was like getting annoyed because I was doing it wrong, and I was like, you know what, I'm just like, ugh, hair everywhere tickling me. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like come back to it another time, which is what I did. So it's taken me a little while to kind of get to this point where I found a lacy stitch pattern that I liked, and I am like, you know, memorizing it and actually being able to do it without having to like stop and then reference the actual stitch pattern over and over again. So all of that to say, I have found my stitch pattern that I liked, the lacy one, and I am now working on it. Let me actually show you the stitch patterns that I tried beforehand and how I got to this point. It's also very dark in here because I have the curtains closed because it is very hot and the sun is like beaming in here. So if the lighting's not great, my bad. So yes, this is the first one that I tried. My camera's dying, BRB. I'm just gonna hold them up against this book so you can see them a little bit better. So yeah, it's like a Solomon's knot. I think it's also called the lover's knot as well, with this really nice like kind of middle section, and then on the end is also like the same stitch pattern. So it's kind of like these rows of like Solomon's knot, these rows, like vertical rows of this kind of stitch pattern, and it is really nice. I just don't think I like the lover's knot or the Solomon's knot for this top, because I feel like with this stitch pattern you almost needed to be kind of pulled quite taut to be able to see I'm doing a really bad job of showing you, but to be able to really kind of see the like cross of this stitch pattern, and because this is a baby doll, it's going to be kind of like loosey and almost a bit flowy. This is not going to be suitable for that, so this is a no. I do like it, but it's a no from me. I've tried the Solomon's knot like a few times. Is it called the Solomon's knot? Now I'm saying it, I'm like, does that sound right? Whatever it's called, I've tried that stitch pattern several times, and every time I'm like, this is fun, and then I'm just like, I just don't think it's going to be like suitable for what I want it to be, you know. So I have decided against that one. I did think that was going to be the winner. I thought I was going to try it and love it immediately, but alas, no. The next one I tried, I don't know if you'll be able to kind of see it very well against the black of this, but this is the next one I tried. It's kind of like a shell sort of vibe with this like little kind of like frilly shell sort of situation. It's a really nice stitch pattern. I just like didn't want it for this top. It's cute, it's nice, but I was just like, nah, it's not for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the way we did it as well, like the construction of it. It's cute, it looks cute, but just like, yeah, not for me. Didn't love it as much. That's why I needed like a few rows, because I was like kind of got to this point where I could see it forming. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of indifferent towards it. I mean, it's cute, but just like, yeah, I didn't think I wanted it basically. The next one, which I thought was going to be the clear winner, I was unsure about how it was going to kind of sit on the top, but it's just a really fun like heart lace design. I actually do have a tutorial for a lacy heart top on my channel. It's not this same lace design, but it's kind of got the same heart pattern in it, but it's got more like chain spaces and stuff. So this is like a slightly different variation of that heart design. Very, very cute, very cute, very cutesy. Really love how it looks, but I just think because it's going to be kind of like frilly and almost like a little bit pleated, it's like you actually can't really see the heart design as much if it's not like pulled taut. I did think this was going to be the winner just because it's super cute, and I really do love like a heart print in that sense. So that's a no. And then the one that I ended up going with, which I will show you a bit better on the actual top, is this really fun kind of like shell fan design. This is really, really nice. I absolutely love this one. It's got like a kind of like swoopy shell fan sort of situation. It's got some chain spaces. There's like a somewhat solid element to it as well, so I'm not going to feel like too exposed or like too naked or anything. I really, really like this. I really also like the construction of it. It's very simple, it's very easy, it's very easy to like see where you are in a stitch pattern. And I have made a start on the actual top where you can see, can you see? It looks really nice. I like as well that because it's kind of not super taut and it is going to be slightly pleated in a sense, it is going to still you'll still be able to see the stitch pattern really nicely, but it's not like a heart where you have to kind of be able to see the actual thing that it's creating, if that makes sense. So my only concern now is I don't know if I'm gonna have enough yarn, because obviously where I am doing this in like a kind of frilly aspect, I've added some increases. Yeah, I'm not nearly finished. I've still got a little way for this one to go, and I have a full 50 gram skein, but I'm just gonna keep going, see how far I go. I honestly don't mind if this is like a really short top as well. I actually really like the idea of it being very, very short. I would love to do the strap area at the top in the dark pink as well, because then it kind of like has this nice, you know, it like marries it up quite nicely. But that being said, I do have a lot of the other colours that I could do as the straps, which I think could also look cute. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at so far. In terms of all of the yarn that I kind of used up in this part, I used up quite a few colours actually. So we have the like dark berry shade, this one here, which I used up very early on, and then I kind of replaced it with the dark purple. I used up this kind of like mustardy colour, which I have used for a couple of projects now. I have basically used up this goldish green color, which I absolutely love. I've used that in a bunch of different projects as well. And then I think that's it. Oh, and then the sage green as well. I also used that one up, which I used for my backless top really recently. So yeah, I've used up quite a few of the colors already, which is great. I would love to, obviously, like this is very much a stash busting kind of project. I would love to be able to utilize some of the, am I flashing you? No. Some of the other colors in that I used in this kind of top bit into the actual project as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's going good. I am hopefully going to be able to crochet a little bit more today. I've got a day off. I got tattooed. I was going to say tatted. That was really cringe. I got tattooed yesterday, so I'm feeling a little bit sorry for myself, and I'm going to just sit on the couch and do nothing. I got a cover up done. You may have seen this tattoo. in many of my videos basically, but I had a blood moon originally here. Kind of always low-key hated that tattoo. Got tattooed by a man, and like I was in my people pleaser stage. It wasn't exactly what I asked for. It wasn't my favorite. It was also really big, blah blah blah, a bunch of different issues that I kind of always had with it. It was also like smack bang in the middle of my arm, and I was like, I can't really escape it. So yeah, I got a cover up. I'll put up a bit better picture because it's got second skin on it. It looks fucking crazy. But yeah, I did a cover up with some florals. This is my usual tattoo artist who has done my last 2 designs. And then I got a piece on my leg of a dinosaur, and then I got a piece on my ankle as well, which is inspired by Nana. So I will put up a picture of all the different tattoos I got, but I'm feeling pretty tender at the moment. I'm hoping, because like there's a bit that kind of comes down onto like the crook and the joint of my arm, I'm hoping it won't affect me too much because it's still fresh, it's still very raw. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine, and if not, I'll just take lots of breaks. But yeah, I'm gonna have a proper crochet day today. I'm gonna crochet as much as I want to, but I would like to get a decent amount done today because I just feel like I haven't crocheted in so long because it's been so fucking hot. Anyway, I'm gonna watch the Hunger Games and I'm gonna crochet, and I will catch up with you soon. Okay friends, I finished the top. It took me so long to do these straps. I don't know why. I think it's because like I basically did just like a few stitches across and just did the straps really long. I am wanting to do like a tie strap. I can't remember what my last update was, if I've mentioned it, but I'm doing little tie straps just because I like the way it looks, and also over time it means that like the straps won't stretch out and I won't have to like piss around with having to fix them. But yeah, it took a really long time. I don't know why. I think maybe I was just like a little bit demotivated to do the straps just because it was like kind of boring. It's all done now. I've done obviously 4 on the front and back, and it's gonna just tie up in a little bow. I am just about to go and block this top, so I thought I'd share just kind of like what it looks like. I'm not blocking it for any other reason than to like wash it, and also just to like relax up the yarn a little bit. As you can see, the straps are a little bit curled. I would love to relax up the lace area a little bit, but I'm just like, I'm not pinning it, stretching it or anything like that. It's just to kind of wash the fibre, relax the fibre a little bit. That is the update on the top. I did a try on. I love how it looks. It's really cute. Obviously I have like a bajillion ends to weave in. There is a lot. Clearly I'm a glutton for punishment because this is like the second project. I don't even know, not even the second, probably the 3rd or the 4th project where I've had like literally hundreds of ends to weave in. So that's going to take me a really long time. Not really looking forward to it because I feel like, yeah, with my last few projects I've just been weaving in ends and it just takes so long because I'm like, oh yay, it's finished, but then I'm like, no it's not. No, it's not, idiot. I'm okay with weaving in ends, like it's fine. It's obviously not my favorite thing to do, but I will do it because I know how important it is, you know, to the longevity of the actual top. I want to wear it and I want it to last for as long as it possibly can last. So I will take the L on this one. And also as well, I'm using a lot of scrap yarn, and that's just unfortunately the way it is when you're using scrap yarn. But I have been able to use up a bunch of the scrap yarn that I had. All of the pink yarn is gone, very little of the dark purple. I've gone through many colours. I'll do a little debrief right at the end. Also, I got my hair cut. This is like the shortest I have ever had it. It's like a slightly different style as well. I am unsure how I feel about it. I think it looks fine. I don't think it looks bad by any means. I think I'm just like not used to it. It's kind of giving like Princess Di vibes, which I'm not mad about, to be honest. So yes, I'm gonna go block this top and I will see you in 100 years when I have woven in all of the ends and the top is finished. I finished it. This took me so long to finish up. The ends, oh my god, there were so many. It was just crazy. Like, I don't think I kept actual track of how many days it took me to weave in all the ends, but it felt like a really long time. But I absolutely love how it turned out. I was able to use so much scrap yarn that like I almost don't mind having to weave in a million ends. The colour of the kind of bust area is really, really cute. I love the lace pattern, especially after blocking. I feel like it's just kind of like opened up a little bit. It's got more of a kind of frill and like that baby doll look. And I really love the bow straps as well. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about them, especially with like the tails of it kind of like covering the top, but I really, really like it. And what's good is that because of the bows, it kind of covers like my bra top, so you can't actually see it. But worst comes to worst, if I don't want to do the bows here, I can have them at my shoulders, I can have them at the back, and I can just wear like either go braless or wear like a strapless bra top or bandeau or something like that. But yeah, I really love how it's turned out. And yeah, like I said, I was able to use up so much yarn. So I have finished with the pink colour, which is the pink that I used on the lace part as well. I finished this kind of like mustard colour as well. I finished the goldy green, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I've used that in loads of projects. I finished the sage green as well, and then there's the kind of like, not this purple, but there's like a darker kind of like berry purple color, which I think is probably more towards the back, but that one I finished like quite early on. So yeah, I really utilized a lot of the yarn that I had. Let me actually show you what yarn I have left over from this whole project. I actually lied, I do have a little bit of the dark pink left, but I wanted to end the lace pattern on this row specifically, and I knew that this amount of yarn wouldn't be enough to kind of carry me until like the next few rows. So this is all of the pink that I have left, and then I still have some of this lilac, which is kind of crazy because if you have followed my channel for a while, you know that I use this lilac a lot. I've made 2 dresses, 2 tops, well 3 tops now, incorporating this lilac color. So I still have a full 50-gram skein and then just a tiny ball here. I have just this amount of the purple, which again is a color I use quite a lot in several of my different projects. I use this in my heart lacy top and something else as well, I can't remember. And then I have this small amount of the tealy blue, which I used for my diamond in the rough cardigan. So yeah, not a huge amount of yarn left over. I used up a bunch of colors, which was very much my mission for this top. I wanted it to be very scrappy and I wanted to be able to finish certain colors as well. I think at the beginning of when I was doing like the different kind of mandala style top, I was going to incorporate the brown and then the dark orange, and I feel like there was maybe another color. I think it was just those 2, but I didn't end up incorporating those into the top just because there were certain colors in this color palette that I wanted to use up first, and I had like a good amount of those that I could probably put towards another project. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how much yarn I was able to kind of utilize for this piece. It just feels really nice and light and airy. It feels very comfortable as well. I feel like it's going to be very adaptable to my mood, but also to like the various weather that we have in the summer. I've just paired it with this black Madaxi skirt for now, but I think I have like a bunch of different ways that I can style it in my wardrobe, particularly for like the spring and summer time. Like I mentioned earlier in the vlog, I am open to doing a pattern for this top, but it won't be this year. It will probably be early kind of spring next year, so it's ready for like the spring summertime. Obviously, if you are interested, keep an eye on my socials. I post all of my testicles either on like my community page on here or on like TikTok and Instagram, so you can follow me anywhere and you will probably see some of my tester application forms. But yeah, I love the top. I think it's really, really cute. But yeah, this is the baby doll top that I finished crocheting. If you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts. Please give me a like, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys in the comment section, and of course subscribe to my channel if you want to see more crochet related content like project vlogs, cozy crochet days, maybe some behind the scenes or like a pattern designer. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next one.